set a trauma alert. Inbound with a 21-year man. Patient is hypotensive and tachycardic at this time. Any questions or suggestions? We're about 5 minutes out.
Attention trauma team, this is Dr. Corsiari. I got a level 1 trauma coming in.
What's the nature of the level 1 priority?
21-year-old male hit by a car, coming in by Empress. His mental status seems alert, but he's confused, a little bit disoriented at this time.
Okay, we're on the way. Let's go, guys.
Colin, there's level 1 trauma. Is the trauma chief present responding?
Instant communication is absolutely essential to what we do.
We are nothing without communication. All we do is communicate constantly.
Communications are the lifeline of our business.
We have a level 1 trauma down here, probable sprint.
We initiated the use of the Sprint Nextel system because of the need to have immediate response. The interval between injury, for example, and response time will very much bear on the survival of patients.
There's a long relationship between us and Sprint Nextel. When the trauma team wanted to have a product that will enable them to communicate better. I mean, they fiddling with people's lives in a matter of seconds, of minutes. So I had to provide them with the service and an instrument that they will not need to worry about when they are in, let's say, with the hands full of blood and trying to save a life at that time.
I think that Nextel Sprint understood that we were dealing with patients' lives, that the immediacy of what we needed to do here required a concentrated effort on their part. That's why it needed to be a two-way communication, and it needed to be robust and reliable. And what we got from them was amazing.
Okay, he's got a markedly positive.
It's imperative that most of the hospital will use these devices. So we expanded the Nextel operations tremendously. Anesthesia is using it. The Women's Health Care Center is using it. Now the nurses, every aspect of this hospital, let's say, goes through a Nextel phone today.
We heard it over the Nextel, Dr. T.
A Group Connect has solved a very big problem that we had in this hospital, which is how do you get a large group of people at one place almost instantaneously. They just hit the Group Connect, everybody on the trauma team hears it, and then we respond so that they know that we've heard it, and then we all go down together.
The efficiency of that communication and the content of that communication is whether people will live or die. This building was being designed in the shadow of 9/11. We were all very conscious about the fact that this hospital serves as a resource in the case that New York City is attacked. We can't be down.
OR, this is Dr. Tepperman. We're en route to the OR now. The patient's dropping his pressure.
I need to be able to reach out and grab someone. I need to know that they're coming. I need to know that my patients are being taken care of. I need to know that their lives are not in jeopardy because of some stupid communications error.
The Sprint Nextels were a revolutionary change. Push one button, get an entire trauma team all responding simultaneously.
And make decisions, know where they are, and know how I'm going to care for this patient.
I've worked at other hospitals which were also trauma centers which did not have this method of communication. And I can't tell you how frustrating it would be to be paged to the emergency room, try and call back. Nobody would pick up the phone. You couldn't figure out what was going on.
Sprint Nextel, I think the word efficiency is just right. There's trauma, there's no room, there's not a lot of extra time involved. You need every second, and I think that's important.
Sprint Nextel, it has become such an integral part of our function here. I cannot conceive of working in level 1 trauma hospital or an active emergency hospital like this without having this system. It's very, very, very effective.
I had other companies approaching us from the push-to-talk perspective, but looking at the technology initially and how deep Sprint Nextel is into this technology versus the others, they're not yet there where the Sprint Nextel technology is today.
And I don't see a system in the future that can match the versatility and efficiency that Sprint Nextel has created.
I recommend the Sprint Nextel system, and I also think that regardless of what I recommend, it's going to take over the function of communications in hospitals everywhere anyway.
When I think about what we have now in terms of our communication system, I'm not really sure how it could be any better. Unless Nextel comes up with telepathy, I think we're done.